Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain. I'm Rachel with my big thing of water that is cotton candy flavored, I think. Quite delicious. We have got books and reviews, and we've got some clouds outside that potentially could lead to rain. We definitely are feeling the fall vibes. I threw on my little flannel earlier. Um, and took my pups out for a little bit of a walk, and now they are napping and snoozing while I'm recording a few episodes for you all. Well, today we are going to talk about A Spell to Wake the Dead by Nicole Lesperance. Lesperance. Looks about right. So, something of that nature. And this was very perfect for this fall witchy vibe feeling that I love getting into the mood for. That is what I tend to gravitate towards in the fall. I like cozy, I like comforting, I like spooky. Give me a cup of coffee or even a hot chocolate. We can make it a mocha because that's coffee and chocolate. Delicious. Ooh, or a hot cider. Love that too. Like just some good apple cider. So good. But let's dive into this book and see what we think. Two teen girls must uncover the dark occult secret lurking in their Cape Cod town to solve a series of murders and save themselves from the same fate in this twisty, witchy thriller. When Maisie and her best friend Nora sneak down to the beach one moonlit night to cast a spell, they don't expect to find a dead body. But as the tide rolls in, it carries the remains of a woman who is missing her hands and teeth. The girls know they should leave the investigation to the police, but they can't shake the weird, supernatural connection they feel with the dead woman. Using spell work and divination, they set out to find answers of their own. But after they uncover a rash of local disappearances stretching back years, and both girls start having occult visions and hearing ghostly whispering voices, Maisie worries that she and Nora are in danger. Then Nora finds a second body, and a whispering voice is telling her where to find more. With everything spiraling, Maisie needs to figure out who to trust and how to sever this supernatural connection, or she and Nora might be the next bodies to wash up on the beach. It is considered young adult, horror, mystery, witches, and thriller. Now, not 100% certain about this thriller theme, but okay, fair. I mean, it's witchy and there's a couple like sneaky moments, but it's about 350 pages in hardcover. I want to say that my ebook was potentially only somewhere around 275, which always makes me question like what is the page just why is the page discrepancy so big? I never know. I may not have all the additions and addendums or what have you, but anyway, it's expected publication August 26th of 2025. And like I said, it's pretty good for the spooky season. And I think I have like, do I have one or two more I think that are perfect for the spooky season? I think I do. I'm excited. But this one was very intriguing and it did grab me right off the bat. Maisie and Nora embrace their kind of, I guess, witchy, pagan intuition, I guess you could say. I would definitely say that they are what maybe white magic sort of witches, in the fact that I think Maisie is really good at tarot cards. Like, she's just got a good intuition about tarot cards. And so she can read them pretty well. And Nora, she's actually able to kind of feel maybe some spooky feelings sometimes. She's definitely got a very good intuition as well. But it doesn't seem like either of their sets of parents. So Nora only has her mom, and Maisie does have her family. Doesn't seem like those families think it's too weird. So I kind of like that as well, that these girls aren't having to hide something that they're interested in. And honestly, other than the fact they dive down this rabbit hole of, this kind of secret spooky coven, I don't really see them having done anything that was maybe too weird. But Anyway, I like it. It's fiction. It's fantasy. So just let your mind run wild and try not to be too judgy if you can help it. Now, the one thing that the summary doesn't really do is talk about their friend Elliot. Now, in my book, they call him Elliot, but in this person's review, she calls him Ethan, and I swear it was Elliot because I said it out loud to myself to try to remember it. And I'm like, no, his name's Elliot. Now, again, I could be totally wrong, but I swear I think his name was Elliot. He was with them the night that they went to the beach to do what was supposed to be I think a spell of finding things. And so they were supposed to go to the beach as the tide was changing. It was like it went out and it was going to come back in. It was going to be right at this moment. And they don't really feel like the spell fully worked. But then all of a sudden, as Nora leaves to, I think, go collect some seashells, she finds a body in the surf. And so they call the police and they're like, hey, oh no, we found a body. It's like missing its hands and it's like teeth. And I think there was potentially something up with the chest. Maybe it looked like it had been stitched or something. And as the story progresses, they really start to figure out what is going on. Well, at first they don't really know what's going on. They're like, oh my gosh, dead body. And then it kind of starts to pick up from there, because after that particular event, they both, Nora and Maisie, start to actually feel some sort of connection, well, especially Nora, to this spirit, potentially of this lady that's whose body they found. And so Nora feels as though this lady is like in her brain, kind of guiding her, trying to help her find things related to this particular case. And Maisie's not like fully there when it comes to being connected to it. I'm not sure if she's opened herself to the spirit yet, but definitely gets kind of weird, because Maisie already is not being able to sleep very well. I'm certain finding a mutilated dead body in the surf is not great for being able to sleep at night. But Nora seems even worse, because the way that Maisie kind of describes her, because we are mainly from Maisie's perspective, is almost as though Nora seems to be more and more gaunt and maybe more pale and potentially losing weight and not taking care of herself very well at all. So whatever is going on in her head, or whatever haunting is happening to her, really seems to be affecting her. On top of that, they are also finding that they feel like they're being followed, potentially by this guy who was maybe at the beach, maybe at a shop nearby, maybe here, maybe there. And they're also finding Polaroids of various people as well, left on their car window, or left like in a shop or something like that. So in very strange places, like in a mausoleum. And now these two girls, actually all three of them, Elliot, Maisie, and Nora, and I did just find that this other person also calls him Elliot, so I'm not crazy. I was like, I thought his name was Elliot. So the other person who calls him Ethan, fair enough, it still starts with an E, but I was like, no, I swear it's Elliot. Anyway, we definitely, like, they're high school girls, so for some reason in my brain, I'm just like, well, yeah, they're going to put their nose where they don't belong. And they definitely do. And I don't know if it's because they feel like whatever's happening is related to their witchiness, but Nora absolutely can't let it go. I think that's because she's being severely haunted. Maisie, on the other hand, I don't know if it's a level of curiosity or what, but she needs to be able to let this go too, and she is just not. So I wish they would just leave the investigation to the police, but they can't shake it. They have to stick their nose in it. And Elliot, who I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because I don't feel like this is spoiler. Elliot and Nora, and Elliot and Maisie both have crushes on each other, but they like that is the most slow burn romance that I have ever had to go through. Because he's a really great friend to both of them, but he definitely has feelings for Maisie, but Maisie has convinced herself that he has feelings for Nora. So she's like, well, I'm not going to say anything. But man, she's constantly talking about like wanting to kiss him and not being able to look away from his lips. And him, like when he's shifting, like him brushing her knee or something. And I'm like, I drive a Standard and I know that whole thing. I'm just saying. But she could move her knee if she really wanted to. Whatever vehicle it is, she could move her knee, but she likes that sort of attention. Anyway, then things really start to snowball because then a second body is found. The voices in Nora's head pull her to finding another body, and then even a third. And so Nora's kind of freaking out because she wants, like, she is, the more bodies she finds and the more she gives in to this voice in her head, the more crazy she seems to become. And it's wild to the point that there is a point where Nora has, like, look, Maisie has, like, told her, Nora, go take a shower. And Maisie's sitting in the bedroom. Nora's supposed to be in the shower. And of course, I'm like, don't let her do it. Don't let her do it. She sneaks out the window. And that's where now Elliot and Maisie have to go out and try to find Nora. And honestly, this book, I read it so fast. I was really like hooked. But of course, there are some kind of juvenile moments. But I eat these kind of books up. Like, I honestly don't care too much about the juvenile moments. Even the little romance was cute enough to where we weren't like hot and heavy making out in the backseat of a car. Like, we didn't have any of that. So no levels of spiciness, unless you count finding a body without its head and teeth, kind of grotesque, potentially. And there is one point when like Nora finds like the second body, and so she calls up Maisie and she's like, Maisie, you got to come here. Like, I found another body. So Maisie and Ethan go to find the second body with Nora, and Nora is braiding the body's hair. And I was just like, there's something wrong with this girl. Like, there is something wrong with this girl. That was really the moment that I was just like, she is not okay. Because you don't just braid a dead person's hair while you wait for your friend to show up. No, thank you. But overall, I do give it some pretty good reviews. Probably a solid 4.25. 4 to 4.25. I'm not going to round it up to 5 stars. It's definitely going to land at 4 stars on my NetGalley account. But with all of that being said, I really had a fun time diving into this. Yes, there is a witchy cult called, what is it? The Hand of Nephtheus? Something of that nature. Supposedly she was like the sister to one of the gods of death in the Egyptian pantheon. Or, yeah, is that the Egyptian pantheon? Yeah, I think that's right. And so she was apparently one of the sister gods of death. And so there is a coven of potentially witches who are trying to potentially do something of death-related spellcraft. But that was actually kind of a cool element as well. And there were a couple other characters throughout that I won't tell you just a ton about, because I want you to wonder what you think about them too, because I could talk about them, but feel like that may be giving you it could potentially give you red herrings, or it could potentially put you on the right track. And I would rather that if this felt like a book that was for you, that you went and picked it up and decided for yourself what you thought. But I like the little twists and turns. I like the end where we have to go save our friends and we're kind of on the verge of being captured ourselves and things are breaking bad and, you don't know what's going to happen. But the way it does play out is pretty good. The way it plays out, and let's just say that Maisie and Elliot get that kiss that they are finally deserving of, because honestly it's pretty cute. They sound like they're about 17, 18 years old by the time this book is playing out, and or seniors in college, or seniors in high school, I mean. So sounds as though they're, good to have a high school crush, I'm sure. I don't know. I didn't have one. I had a crush on a guy, but he didn't think of me that way, so it's fine. But anyway, I'm not bitter or anything. But until next time, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you have not liked and subscribed already, I hope you will consider it. But thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will see you all on the next page. I hope you have a great one. Bye.